The next part of this design and the start is the scallop. The scallop has two passive pairs, an outside pair and a worker pair. We're going to start it on the uppermost pin, which is part of the scallop, so we need to place a temporary pin above the first pinhole. In placing a temporary pin above the pinhole, the first pair you place on it will become a passive. The second pair, which is placed beside it, is also a passive pair. The third pair that's placed on the pin is placed way far to the right because it's going to become the worker. And the fourth pair is placed around that pair. So we have one on the inside and one on the outside. Starting with the outside pairs, we're going to do a half stitch. So that's a cross twist. Now, the one that's on the furthest to the outside on the right becomes the worker. These particular pins have 4 twists around the pin. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 twists. Place the pin in the pinhole at the top. You need to close the pin. Do a cross stitch. Cross, twist, cross. On the other side of that, put 1 twist on both pairs. Now take the worker through the other 2 pairs with a cross stitch. Cross, twist, cross, and a cross, twist, cross. This is the point where you now join with the 2 pairs which were added on the uppermost pin way up here at the top. Take your worker pair through the first pair. Cross, twist, cross, and through the last pair. Cross, twist, cross. The winky pins inside the head side have 3 twists. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really matter how many twists you put on there as long as every single time you do it, you make it the same. So on the inside, there are 3 twists. This pin on the inside. The outside, there are 4 twists. So the scallop has 4 twists and 3 twists, and also a separating twist so that it becomes wider. We need to now remove the temporary pin and very carefully pull the threads down into position. Notice I'm applying pressure to the weaver, which is on the left. Then I can pull each thread pair down into position. To return back across, it's again a cross stitch and a cross, twist, cross, and a cross, twist, cross, and a cross, twist, cross, until you reach the last pair, which is the edge pair. If you look at this particular pattern, you can see that the scallop becomes wider. The first time, before the edge pair, we place 1 twist. As the scallop becomes wider, you will need to add more twists. This is a cross stitch with the outside pair. It was 4 twists on the outside pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the weaver, and 1 twist on the pair that will be on the other side of the pin. Place the pin in the pinhole, tighten it, close the stitch, cross, twist, cross, tension it. Inside there was 1 twist to get back to the inside. The outside also has 1 twist between each winky pin. Return the worker to the inside of the head side. So it's a cross stitch, go all the way through, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, and 4 pairs. You are now at the pin that is directly above the leaf, the tally. Do not place any twists on the worker. Put the pin in the hole above the leaf. Return to the outside. A cross stitch again. Another cross stitch. 2, 3, 4, and stop right before you hit the edge pair. This is wider here and it needs 2 twists. 1, 2. At the edge pair, do a cross stitch. Cross, twist, cross. With the weaver, the outside pair on the right, do your 4 twists again. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the next pair to the inside, do 1 twist. Place a pin in the pinhole. Close the stitch with a cross stitch. Cross, twist, cross. After completing your cloth stitch to close the pin, don't forget to remember that you're doing a scallop. Therefore, there's 1 twist on the outside pair, but 2 twists on the inside pair, which is your weaver, so that it can return into the actual scallop and go through the passives. So after you've done a cross stitch through the passives, there will again be 3 twists on the weaver pair. Put a pin in the next pinhole and return back across. Don't forget, as you're doing this, that it is a scallop and it gets wider. So you can adjust that as needed. If you decide you want 3 twists in there between, I'll show you what I mean. Let's go across to the 2 passives. Now, when you're here, you would normally do 2 twists. If you decide, when it gets bigger, that you want 3, it is your lace, and you can place 3 in here. So that it's 2, it's 1, then it gets to 2. You could do 3 here, go back down to 2, and go to 1. Just try to remember to make it the same on each scallop. If you want to do 1 and then go to 2 and back to 1, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 1.